How's it going, everybody? Here with Carol Coldren. Just crushed another awesome workout. How you doing, Carol?
Good, I'm great today.
Good. Just want to ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
Can you tell us what your life has been like since starting trot compared to since before it's been?
Okay, well, I started about 3 years ago. It was in April, and prior to trot, I've always been active. And for example, I was playing basketball as an adult for about 15 years in a co-ed team. But then in the last 5 years prior to that, I was in a job where I traveled a lot, which meant sitting, eating. So I knew that I had to do something about my health. And 3 years out, I've permanently lost 10 pounds.
Wow.
I've toned up some, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a lot of endurance. I feel really strong. So my day-to-day activities are a breeze. And I do a lot of heavy gardening and things like that. I hike, I ride my bike, so I feel good.
Awesome. So can you tell us a little bit about your overall trot experience, what it's been like each session, how you're liking it?
Sure. Well, each session is really challenging. It's a lot of fun. We use some of the same exercises, of course, but it's not the same routine. So I don't feel like, oh, I come in here and I do the same thing and it gets boring. The other thing that's really fabulous is people here, other clients are really supportive. There's no judging. I don't feel like I'm in a competition with anybody except myself. And I compare that to another boot camp session where, as a woman of a certain age, I was totally ignored, basically, even though I was performing in the middle of the pack. So I can't say enough about the trainers, how they help us and encourage us.
Awesome. Well, you kind of touched on it, but last question, what it's been like to work with the trot staff, and not only the staff, but also the other clients, too, because they're a big part.
The staff is great. We are properly trained. I think all of you trainers monitor us to make sure that we're using the correct form. In 3 years, by the way, I've never suffered any kind of injury, and I try to work really hard when I'm here. But the trainers encourage us. They know when we need a little extra bit of encouragement, but there's never any kind of feeling of being beaten upon or embarrassed or anything like that. And the other clients are the same way. They're really encouraging, and it's part of why I like to come. I have a group of friends and trainers here who make it really a great experience.
Awesome. Thank you, Carol.
Sure.